What are the top signs that you were raised by a narcissistic mother? My name is Rebecca P. Fox. I'm a psychotherapist who specialises in healing from trauma. Growing up, it's not uncommon when you've been raised by a narcissistic mother to question if you're the problem in that whole dynamic, because you don't feel like you have the love of your mother. You don't feel like you can do things right to get love from your mother. In fact, it feels like you're a big problem in that family dynamic. And that question never comes up as a child of, am I the problem here or is it my mother? Because as a child, you just want the love and affection and approval from your parents. And naturally, children want to please their parents. So they never ask that question themselves of, is my parent the one that's the problem here? So one of the first signs is that you never seem to receive unconditional love from your mother. It seemed like your mother only wanted you when you were successful or when you were doing well. So sports day at school, she expected you to win. And if you didn't win, you weren't good enough and you were berated for that. Things like the times when you were not doing as you're told, in other words, doing everything that she wanted as and when she wanted it, you were classed as a bad child and you were a child that didn't deserve the love that she should be giving unconditionally regardless of that. There are conditions based on the love of a narcissistic mother because their child's success looks bad or good on them. They see their child as an extension of themselves. So they want to make sure that their child is winning at all costs because that is how the narcissist perceives themselves. Sign number 2, your feelings. They're not valid. In fact, you're not allowed to have feelings. Your feelings are completely dictated by your mother. The times when you felt sad and you wanted to cry, you were told to stop crying. You're not sad. Actually, you've got a better life than most, so what are you complaining about? You see, narcissists can't connect with feelings. They don't know how to handle feelings. And they definitely don't want to handle a child that in their mind is being difficult because you have emotions. So what the child learns to do is suppress their emotions. So they become emotionally dysregulated as an adult. This is very, very unhealthy. And this causes a lot of problems when it comes to getting into relationships down the line. So if you're someone right now that thinks, I can't trust anyone in a relationship, I struggle to connect, that is one of the key signs that you've not had your emotions validated as a child and you've not been allowed to express those emotions. And in fact, you've suppressed your emotions, so you no longer have that ability to connect. The third sign is jealousy, which sounds crazy, right? Because you wouldn't think that a mother would be jealous of her child. That just seems ludicrous. But this is a big reality when it comes to having a narcissistic mother. You see, as much as narcissists want their children to be an extension of themselves and to look as though they are doing well in life, to reflect back on the mother, they never want to be the ones that have the limelight taken off the mother. So jealousy is very real for a narcissistic mother. You see, they want you to do good, but they don't want you to get the praise for it. They want the praise for all your hard work. Jealousy comes with this, and they will always remind you that the only reason you're successful is because of the mother. Because the mother was the one who pushed you to that point. Without their support, without their guidance, you wouldn't be where you are. And that just isn't true, because you succeeded by yourself without your mother's help. The fourth sign is it's all about image. Narcissistic mothers have to be the center of attention. They have to be the one that everyone's talking about, and in a good way. So they want their child to also be that person. They need that child to be presentable and immaculate at all times. And this isn't just about appearance either. This goes down to everything you do, the way you talk, the way you act, the way you interact, the way you don't talk, because there are times when they're not going to want you to communicate. That saying, children should be seen and not heard, that's a very narcissistic saying right there. And the fifth sign is they're emotionally volatile. Narcissistic mothers easily fly into a rage when their child isn't pleasing them or doing as they're told, because for narcissistic mothers, it's all about control over that child, getting that child to do exactly what they want. And most children who are raised by narcissistic mothers feel like they're maids in their own homes. They don't feel like they're a child that can play and enjoy themselves. They have chores and they have tasks to do that they must do so that they don't get reprimanded for it. And the reprimand is always vicious, it's often very brutal, and it's volatile. It leaves the child feeling unstable, because one minute the mother can be fine and then the next minute she can fly into a narcissistic rage which feels very destructive for that child. And later on in life, having that raised voice or being in environments which seem very loud and hostile can be very intimidating for a child that's raised by a narcissist. So those are your top signs to look out for. I want you to know that when you're raised by a narcissistic mother, the way that you were treated is not a reflection of who you are as a person or who you was as a child. As a child, you was innocent and you required needs from your mother that just weren't met. And it's these unmet needs now that have transitioned into a trauma response that you're experiencing on a daily basis. And if you want some support on this and want to know more, make sure you subscribe to my channel and check out the links below for more information.